StarterPack. So now we have a very basic React setup actually working. We've gone beyond just the basic what is React, and we're actually starting to get into the code, which I much prefer over spending a lot of time trying to talk about what a web framework is. I really do find that in web design and web work in general, there's so much jargon, and the words are changing so often, and everyone's got slightly different ways to refer to things. So you really have to be able to maneuver in and out of jargon and terminology while keeping your head in the practical bits of code. So I use jargon, I use the right words when I need to with clients or with particular web developers so I can get across my point. But in my heart, the real work is down in a really practical level of how do you make the computer do what you want. So try to keep your head above the terminology if you can. Just keep an eye on the code, watch the flow of logic, watch the flow of information, and the words will come naturally after you get used to working in some of these projects. So let's just review. This has been quite a short section, of course, because it's just the introductory section, but they're going to get longer as we go through the course. Yes, of course, get ready for lots of code and self-learning. That's one thing about being a programmer. You kind of have to be an autodidact. So you have to be willing to go and Google some stuff, or if something doesn't make sense, look it up, send a note to somebody. That's an integral part of being a coder. And as part of that, just send me a note if you have a question, or if you need more information, or if you want a different course, or if you think I did a bad job and you have suggestions, or you don't have suggestions, whatever. Just send me a note, leave a comment. As I said before, I do assume you have done some work in JavaScript, maybe built a small website. I don't expect you to be an expert by any means, but you need to be able to follow me as I run through JavaScript files. And in some of the places in this class, I'm definitely going to skip around between files fairly fast. I get a little excited and just start developing as though you weren't there, which I think is great because you get to see the actual process and how much it involves jumping back and forth and fixing small errors. But if you ever feel overwhelmed, of course, just pause, go back, review what I did, slow it down, send me a note if you need to, and I definitely want to help you get through this because I think learning React will really be great for your career as a web developer and just so you can build stuff you think is really cool, which is ultimately why I'm doing this, and I hope you get some of that fun and that joy as well. So let's see you in the next section where we're going to start getting into the real code. Yay!